Hey, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? How are you guys doing? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas with this inspirational morning talk. Hey, for first-time listeners, I just want to give you something positive to start off today, something inspirational to get your day going, man. But it's a beautiful day here, but as you see, I can be indoors. I can be indoors today, just trying to get this word out, man. But how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Hope you enjoying a good day today. But I'm gonna get into it a little early. I'm gonna get into it a little early today, right? You know, the last few days we're talking, the last talk we had, and you know, the whole moral of the story with is obedience. So we talk about Naaman, and we talk about it's the whole thing was on courage, but the whole thing was obedience, right? The obedience was that theme. Naaman, we used to talk about the story, but Naaman, when he had to dip 7 times in the Jordan River to be cleansed of his leprosy and everything, but he had to be obedient. He had to follow the commands. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning. How are you doing? How are you doing today? So you have to follow the commands, right? Obedience was the theme. So I want to dig a little deeper today into obedience because I'm reading the Bible again. I did it in 30 days before, twice. Read it in 30 days. Mr. Alan Dwayne, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? So I read it before in 30 days, which is a quick read. It's like 12 chapters a day. It's a little tough doing it that way. So now I'm doing it, reading it in a year, right? A year. It's part of a Bible study me and my wife doing for couples. So reading slowly, and the whole theme, right now we're in Jeremiah, and they're going through, and all these prophets, and all this stuff for God saying, and the whole theme is about obedience. Just tell Israel to be obedient. Tell my people to be obedient and the lives. And you see, every time they be obedient, to follow the laws, the life will good and the stop. And it's just this roller coaster cycle up and down. You're like, man, why these people just can't do what they're told to do? Look how good the life going, right? So that's the whole theme, is obedience. It comes right back down to, hey, follow the laws and you can be good. So let's look at this story here today. Let's look at this little story. It's not one of the popular ones that you can hear about. And that's what I like to do, introduce people to new things, because we know about all the popular stories in the Bible. But I'm going to introduce you to this little story, how God was trying to teach his people obedience. And he showed them an example, right? This is on Jeremiah 35. This was the entire Jeremiah 35. This story is on, right? And this chapter is just showing you that this family, the Rechabites family, is a nomad. It's from the nomad clan, right? And this is the contrast or the faithfulness from these people, from the dead ancestors, with the faithfulness of the people of Judah to the command of a living God. God's showing them how these people are faithful to their ancestor versus how y'all are so unfaithful to me who's living and present. But these people are faithful to their dead ancestor. That's what this story is about, right? Because he was getting fed up. He was giving Jeremiah all these prophecies to tell these people, man, they all got to change. So he said, let me give them a example what being obedient looks like, right? So he tells Jeremiah here. He said, this is the message the Lord gave Jeremiah when Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, was king of Judah. He said, go to the settlements where the family of the Rechabites live and invite them to the Lord's temple. Take them into one of the inner rooms and offer them some wine. So he said, tell Jeremiah, go get these people and bring them to the temple. Take them into the inner room and give them some wine. Just offer them some wine, right? I mean, what is offer these people wine, right? Okay. So I went, this is Jeremiah saying, this is Jeremiah 35:3. So he says, so I went to see Jezaniah, son of Jeremiah, and grandson of Habazaniah, and all his brothers and sons, representing all the Rechabites family. You're going to get all of the whole family. Y'all come, all your sons, grandsons, everybody come. I took them to the temple, and we went into the room assigned to the sons of Hanan, son of Igdala, a man of God. This room was located next to the one used by the temple officials, directly above the room Messiah, son of Shalom, the temple gatekeepers. Hey, forgive me if I am not pronouncing all these names correctly. I'm trying to do my best. So in other words, you take them to this room. God said, take them to one of the inner rooms. You take them there, right? I set a jug of wine before them and invite them to have a drink, but they refused. No, they said, we don't drink wine because our ancestors, Jehonadab, son of Rechab, gave us this command. He said, you and your descendants must never drink wine and do not build houses or plant crops or vineyards, but always live in tents. If you follow these commands, you will live long, good lives in the land. So we have obeyed him in all these things. We have never had a drink of wine to this day, nor have our wives or sons or daughters. We haven't built houses or owned vineyards or farms or plant crops. We have lived in tents and have fully obeyed all the commands of Jehonadab, our ancestor. So they're saying no. The prophet, right, called them and said, hey, man, let's drink some wine. These people said, no, we can't drink this wine. Our ancestor, he tells us, if we want to live a good life in this land, this is what we got to do. We don't need to drink no wine. We don't need to build no houses. We need to live in tents. We don't need to farm in, right, because they're nomads, right? And let me tell you why is that, because this is what the nomads do, right? A nomad is a member of a people or a tribe who do not have a fixed dwelling place, but who wander from place to place within a given territory, moving all their belongings, including their homes, when they're including all their homes. Nomadic people usually move about seasonally, following the food supply or moving to meet the grazing needs of their herds. For this reason, they are usually hunters and gatherers rather than farmers who cultivate fields, vineyards, and tracts. So a nomad people, they said, look, we don't want to build no house. We don't want nothing to tie us down to no particular area. We can live in tents. So if the food supply, we're hunters. If the food supply is limited here, we move on to where we can hunt good. So we can pack up our tents and just move to where the food supply is. Or the grass and stuff for our cattle gone a little low here. Let's move to the next area where there's grass for our herds and stuff to eat. So that's the lifestyle they live. The forefathers tell them, this is what we do. And if you want to live long, follow this. And they follow this to a T. What am I saying? And that's what God's trying to do, use this example. Let me see what you tell them first, and then we can have a little discussion, right? Then the Lord gave this message to Jeremiah. He said, this is what the Lord of heaven armies, the God of Israel, says. He said, go and say to the people in Judah and Jerusalem, come and learn a lesson about how to obey me. He said, come and get my people, and let us see what obedience look like. Not because the prophet tell these people to do something against the orders that they get. They tell the prophet, no, we can't do it. But how much times we compromise things that we know is right because a pastor, because a teacher, because somebody in authority tell us to do something that is wrong, and we know is wrong, and we still going to do it. He said, these people, I send the prophet, and they tell the prophet, no, we can't do this, bro. We can't do it. This is the orders we get. We are not compromising our standards because our forefathers tell us, if we want to live a good life, this is what we need to do. So you're not going to come and mess this up for me. God tell us all the things we need to do to live the fulfilled life. But we still let people talk us out of it. And we still compromise, right? So God telling his people, say, go and get the people from Judah and Jerusalem and let them learn a lesson how to obey me. So the Rechabites do not drink wine to this day because their ancestor Jehonadab told them not to, but I have spoken to you again and again, and you refuse to obey me. So I spoke to you again and again. Y'all refuse to obey me. Time after time, I sent you prophets who told you, turn from your wicked ways and start doing things right. Stop worshiping other gods so that you might be in peace here in the land I have given to you and your ancestors, right? But you would not listen to me or obey me. The descendants of Jehonadab, son of Rechab, have obeyed their ancestor completely, but you refuse to listen to me. So he's saying, man, y'all come. See what it is to be obedient. These people obeying the dead ancestors. I'm a living God, and y'all ain't obeying me. I'm telling y'all, just like how that man and sister tell them, if they want to live a good life in the land, this is what they need to do. I'm telling you what you need to do to live the fulfilled life. But y'all not listening. Y'all not listening, right? So let me go on quickly here and see what he said. So therefore, this is what the Lord of the heavenly armies, the God of Israel, say. Because you refuse to listen or answer when I call, I will send upon Judah and Jerusalem all the disasters I have threatened. And again, right? A lot of the things we going through, we causing ourselves due to disobedience, right? And that's what we tell them, because y'all ain't listening. I remember we talked about the last time, a couple of talks ago. He said, when we choose an action, we also choosing the consequence, right? When we choose an action, we also choosing that consequence that comes along with the action. So he said, y'all disobedient, I can bring the disasters on y'all, that I promise, right? So a lot of things were happening around is disobedience. You look at your own life, and I look back at my own life. A lot of the problems I put myself in is due to disobedience, right? You either break a law at school and you get punished. You get suspended, something happened to you at school. You get your job, you don't following the laws, you break in, they could fire you, to write you up, whatever, to suspend you. On the streets, you're not following the traffic laws. You're speeding, you get a speeding ticket, you get in an accident. You got to suffer the consequences of, you get drunk driving. All of that is just laws, just disobedience. Because we know the right thing, but we choose not to do it, right? And if you look right through, is disobedience getting us in trouble? This is what God said with these spiritual laws. Y'all disobeying the laws all the time, and y'all can just put yourself in trouble. And then you'll come and pray to me, and I say, man, the laws are down there. I got everything spelled out already. I got this young man coming on here, getting up every day, taking his own time to warn you guys. Just follow the laws. Man, guys, I can tell you, I'm learning from this as I go on too. I'm learning. He's teaching me a lot through it, and I'm trying my best. Because like I said, I need more consistency in my life. And I'm trying. I say, hey, you know what? I got to follow. First, you got to know them, right? You got to educate yourself. That's what he said, when people perish for the lack of knowledge. You got to know them, so you know when you're breaking one, or you know when you're not doing the right thing. And you got to try your best, because the right thing all the time may not be the popular thing, right? The right thing may not be the popular thing. Look at this test where these people get here. Just imagine the prophet. Call you up and say, hey, let's drink some wine. And you got to tell the prophet, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that, right? Because that's why God put this one in here. Because if you let somebody talk you out in doing the stuff, it's not on them no more. You got to answer for your sin. Pastor, if he encouraged you to do something wrong and you know it's wrong, you go about it, pastor can't help you your time when you go stand before the maker and say, pastor, tell me to do it. You got to answer for that wrong that you do. That's why he said here in Proverbs 29:25, he said, fearing people is a dangerous trap. He said, fearing people is a dangerous trap, but trusting the Lord means safety. So if you fear pastor, you fear your boss, you fear the teacher, whoever encouraging to do wrong, fearing in this case means you respect them more than you respect what I'm telling you. He says a dangerous trap to fear people more than you fear God. And he said, if you fear God or you respect God, you trust in him, that's your safety right there. So no matter what they threaten to do to you, he's saying, if you hold true to my word, I got an obligation to protect you. I got an obligation to protect you, because if you trust me, that means you're safe. I got an obligation now to protect you once you trust my word. No matter how it looks. No matter if it's not a popular thing. No matter if the boss telling you, fire you if you don't do this murder illegal thing. You said, no, I can't do it. Put your trust in God. He said he can protect you. Well, a lot of time what we do, we get scared of the consequences, and okay, if I lose my job, and you compromise with standards. God said, no, you trust me, and I can protect you, right? Look at these people here. He said, come and learn a lesson on how to be obedient, right? From these people here, right? So I just want to tell people, man, this stuff come right back down. I could show a lot of stories. I could twist this and turn this in a lot of ways, but everything comes right back down to obedience. just following these laws and doing the right thing. Like I said, and that's when we get more consistency in our life. And he is so faithful. You hear me keep saying this. He is so faithful to his laws. Like we did a series that it did, but the different laws and who qualified for what. Because some laws, everybody qualified for it. There's some things, some promises, only the righteous qualify for them. Some things, once he said whoever or whenever, that means anybody qualify. And once they do the law and be obedient to it, you'll get the success. That's why you would see some people who you know doing some wrong and they're getting some success in some aspects of their life because they're following certain laws. And he said, I don't care who it is. I said, whoever do this, this is going to be the result. This is the blessing they can get. Like giving to the poor and all that kind of stuff. Whoever lends to the poor, give to the poor, lending to me. He said whoever. He didn't say only the Christian, only he said whoever. So sometimes you see some people doing wrong and they're giving and they're feeding the poor, they're doing all this stuff and they're getting certain blessings, financial, but it's, because they're following a law, they're obedient. So we can trust his laws. He said this and you do it, you're gonna get it, man. That's the message for today. Like I said, I'm going through the Bible a lot slower now. And that's the glaring light bulb in the whole thing. Obedience. Once you obey and follow these laws and rules and commands, you're going to live the abundant life that he promised, right? Look in your marriage. If you follow those rules, what the man's supposed to do, what the woman's supposed to do, women respect, the man love, it's going to be all good. It's just about it being obedient. That's what the whole thing boils down back to, guys, right? But I'm going to leave that there as we go on. Hey, next week, I'm going to be going on vacation. So Wednesday may come on, but I'm not sure the time. I'm going to be in California. I know their time is a little different there. And we go down there. I'm going to see what time I'm going to get to my broadcast. But I'm going to do something on Wednesday and Friday. And then I can be going on a cruise, so I'm going to see what can be done when I'm gone out there and how I can do something when I'm there. But if not, I'm going to be gone for a little bit. But next week, I'll still be here. But Wednesday, it might not be on the regular time that we're used to because I'm not sure when I get in there and everything. I'm going in early morning. While I'm still trying to do something during the day. The people who catch live, don't catch it live, they could always watch back at the recording, right? But you guys have a great, great day, and we'll talk again on Wednesday. All right, goodbye.